Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Abraham Lincoln. We're 99.9% sure you were born today. Happy birthday to you. What's up, Valentine nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live at 7:47 in the morning of this, the 12th day of February 2024, post Super Bowl. Man, Taylor Swift played an amazing game last night, right? I mean, she got that home run. Yeah, that joke's going to go on for a while, probably, right? It is Abraham Lincoln, which means it is the first 3-day weekend of the, I thought they combined them together in President's Day or whatever. It may or may not be a 3-day weekend for some of you, but it is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. More importantly, we're going into Lent, which means we're going into Mardi Gras, which means we're going into, the countdown to Easter and candy season beginning once again. We got Valentine's Day, we got Easter, we got the summer. God, it just never seems to end. It's also Monday in some corners of the world, which means it's time to take a look at the tabletop role-playing games, freebies, sales, and bundles. And since it is spring, it'll be interesting to see how many Valentine's Day themed thingies we can stumble across. And more importantly, do we find any Abraham Lincoln birthday themed adventures? Because, there's tons of Halloween adventures. There's tons of Christmas adventures. There's tons of Valentine's adventures. There's even a few Thanksgiving adventures. But I wonder how many adventures are based around dead President's Day, Abraham Lincoln, the other holidays. How about there's no Columbus Day themed adventures or Arbor Day themed adventures? What am I saying? There probably are. I've just never seen them. If you have, let me know. All right, here we go. Thank you as always, ENWorld, for providing these links. Let's start with this week's freebies on the drive-through. And we have from Skaven Loft, Greenwood Outlaws for Forge in the Dark / Blades in the Dark. That's this thing right here. And it's basically inspired by the Walt Disney Robin Hood thing with the, anthropomorphic animals and just basically anthropomorphic medieval inspired animal thingies. So, rabbits versus bears versus dogs, and they're all anthropomorphic, and it's just fun and cute and weird. From Trollish Delver, we have Nightblade, an OSR fantasy game, another OSR fantasy game. From Merc Dice, we have Mud and Blood, another OSR style fantasy role-playing game, OSR OGL, dark fantasy, retro 80s role-playing game. From No Made Games, we have Playing God, where you're a god. And then I guess the DM plays your worshipers. And you can play it without a DM also. Okay. I mean, if you're going to go ultimate power fantasy. From Inkblade Publishings, we have Yokai, a feudal Japanese-inspired role-playing game. I'm sure that guy will receive a few comments about racial appropriation, where you explore the realms of Japan and hunting down the yokai, even though, of course, many of the yokai are not evil. They're actually helpful, but whatever. From Eric Steels, spelled Staehles, we have A Realm of Legends, a D20 system inspired by game. So yet another retro OGL type game. From Operant, spelled Operant instead of A, we have Hideous Truth. All you need to play this is a chess set and a deck of cards, and it's a horror game. It's a horror game that uses a chess set and a deck of cards, and yet it claims it's rules light. If I have to play chess to make my way through your role-playing game, it is not rules life. We have another thing from Mike Shea, creator of the Lazy DM series. This one is called the Lazy RPG Prep Worksheet. It's a 2-page worksheet that walks you through all the 8 steps of the process of building an adventure. From Dr. Jess Miller Camp, we have a Paleontologist's Guides to Running Prehistoric Beasts. So this is expert guides from a guy talking about how to have dinosaurs in your game, and then how to, as well as we know, have those dinosaurs actually behave the way we think dinosaurs behave. Of course, we're always discovering new things about dinosaurs. That's the wonderful things about dinosaurs. And I mean, come on, it's dinosaurs. Just stop right there. It's dinosaurs. They're literally the coolest thing ever. Why would I not want them in my game? And it's free. More love for Cyborg. This one comes from Will Griff. It's called All Roads Lead to Chrome. And it gives you a whole bunch of new cyberware manufactions, horrible things you can do to yourself by cutting off your arm and replacing it with an egg beater. Yes, for the Cyborg, which is, I think now the Cyborg is probably bigger than actually Mork Borg now, and probably has a bigger fan base. I don't know. Just Mork Borg has had an interesting evolution from tabletop role-playing game of the year to joke to, I don't know, maybe the system isn't so bad as long as you use it for other games. I wonder if they've done a superhero Cyborg yet. From Zach Beach, spelled Betches, we have a Mystery of Amnesty for 5e, where you play a larger group of parts. It's built around the idea of, hey, what do you do if you have 9 or more players? And it's basically just a mystery, but more importantly, he discusses, how you handle groups of 9, 10, 11, 15 players and still able to run an adventure, which would be interesting. So I think, since it's free, if you're playing or running a game with lots of, more than 6, you might want to, especially with 5e, with, why not? Give Zach a try. I would definitely want to read it. In fact, I might. Insight into how because I've run this, I think the largest group I ever had was 16. And the largest group I've ever been in was over 100. I knew a DM who could run for up to 22. But yeah, anything more than 6 is too many for me. But other players and DMs can do it. So William Gregg has released something called #JustNecromancerThings. It is a adventure for any D100 type system that uses fantasy, like Warhammer, that sends the party to investigate a necromancer who's looking for true love. Can't find it, so maybe he'll make it. Gildor Games look to celebrate the underappreciated classes of the other RPG systems with Stone of Rock, an elemental RPG. 5 underdog heroes consisting of a druid, illusionist, assassin, bard, and monk must brave the spider-hunted forest to do some adventure stuff. Are these all are really underlooked classes? Really? Do you think they're underlooked? I mean, is the druid really underlooked? Does druid not get enough love? The illusionist, that's not even a class anymore, dude. In 5e, it's a specialty class. I think Castles and Crusades still has the illusionist class. The illusionist class never made sense to me. And it obviously didn't make sense to TSR/Wizards of the Coast because they just entered the domains and said your wizard can just specialize in illusions and pretty much get the exact same ability the illusionist class did. The assassin, which is a class in some games and isn't a class in other games. It's not a class in 5e anymore, but is it underappreciated? It was never meant to be a player character class. It was always meant to be an NPC class. The bard's not underappreciated. It's just appreciated for the wrong reason. Somebody really just needs to, take away the Scanlan trope of just bards being horny idiots and really get back to, what the idea of the bard was based upon. And monks really underappreciated? I mean, I think there's been a monk at every 5e game I've played. And there's usually a monk in every game I play, even if it doesn't make sense for the monk to be there. So I don't know if monks are underappreciated. If there is an underappreciated class in 5e, maybe sorcerer. I don't know. Probably straight, more normal, boring fighters. Probably sorcerers, I think, a little underappreciated. It's always kind of been a mess, especially in 5e. I don't know. It's a weird one. Well, moving on from Highlander Labs, we have a Pathfinder adventure that's supposed to take you up to 16th level. It's called A Cold Brew, which sends you on a quest trudging through the winter to, I guess, do wintry type stuff. And it comes with VTT handouts and PDFs, and maps. Thank you very much. Moving over to Dungeon Masters Guild, we have some more love for Curse of Strahd / Ravenloft. This is called the Root of All Evil. It supplements the Vines of Wrath encounters and enters a new mini game dealing with curses and drinking. So if you've ever wanted to have some evil drinking in the world of Ravenloft and supplement previous adventures of Ravenloft and generally have some more love in Ravenloft, because nothing says Valentine's Day like Ravenloft. David Dubai has also released a Ravenloft called, not surprisingly, Valentine's Day, Festival of True Love, which includes, amongst other things, a Session 0 more challenges, more enhancements to the existing Curse of Strahd. So basically what he's done is he's gone through Curse of Strahd and enhanced it, spread it out, taken the encounters and expanded upon them, taken the settings and expanded upon setting, including having a, what would you call it, an essay on how to run a Session 0. Well, you don't really run a Session 0, but run a Session 0 designed to let people know what to expect from Ravenloft. And he goes all the way up to the final battle in the module. He goes through all the little mini games, and then, of course, also enters a little adventure of his own called Festival of True Love. At one time of year when a skeleton steps up and goes, I want to love another skeleton and give her my heart. Bum, 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 bum. Get it? Get it. Robert Swanson has released an adventure called The Elves Tells Lies, an adventure for the 3, 6, and 11th level characters, where you go and investigate lies and mysteries that elves are telling. Maybe the elves aren't as nice and pretty and fluffy as you think they are. Interesting that he chose 3rd, 6th, and 11th. So I guess you start as a 3rd level character, and then the next milestone is your 6th, and then the final milestone for the adventure is your 11th. What would it see? 3, 6, 9? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 11. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. Lightning round. Over at Drive-Thru, we have for monsters, maps, random generators, and stuff like that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 new maps. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 new subclasses and backgrounds for 5e. All of these are still technically legal. You can find them all on Drive-Thru under the, or DM's Guild under the free button. Just go to the side of the page. You'll see the names of all the game companies that they cover. And at the very bottom, you'll see a big red button that says free. Click that, and the very first thing you see will be these things that I list off every week. And remember, again, these are all still technically 5e legal, at least for the next couple days, and we'll talk about that in about 5 seconds. Moving on to sales. Oh, hey, here we go. Dungeon Masters Guild is having a 25% off sale for all their Adventurer League modules. Over 1,400 organized plays ready for adventures, including the amazing Vecna Wins series and a couple other really good ones. Also, of course, the Change of Asmodeus adventure, considered the best 5e adventure that didn't come from Wizards of the Coast. So yeah, why would they be trying to sell off all the Adventurer League's modules before February 20th, which is about the time all the Adventurer League's adventures end and the new Planescape-centric Adventurers League stories begin, and the transition of taking Dungeons & Dragons official live play, canon, hardback, live play Dungeons & Dragons out of the Forgotten Realms and into Planescape, because remember, according to Jeremy Crawford, it's always been Planescape. It's always been Planescape since 2014. It was always about Planescape, and 2026 Dungeons & Dragons is going to be all about Planescape. So we know that the current season of all the official canon 5e Adventurer League adventures are coming to an end. We know that the next round starts in a couple days. Brand new series of adventures for 2024 going into convention season, and those will all be centric around Planescape. We also know that Wizards of the Coast has pretty much informed DMs Guild about what is no longer going to be official canon and what is going to be official. And the transitioning Adventurers League out of the D&D 14 through 2023 and into D&D 2024 through 2027. So they're selling them all off because as of the 25th, they're not going to be canon anymore. And you won't be able to play those classes. Moving on, we've got a Uncharted Journeys. This is a 5e expansion from Crucible 7. Hey, you remember Crucible 7? They were going to make that game that never got made. Features over 2,000 journeys that you could run into while you're running a hex crawl / point crawl. And it also includes some PDFs and VTT stuff. It's taken the rules from one game, adapted them to another game, and created a whole bunch of things to happen while your characters are on the road. And this is $30. Bill Wilder's Game has collected everything they've ever made. It includes 40 adventures, supplement map packs, and more for various D20 games. It's $25. I've never heard of these guys, so let's see if they've made anything recognizable. You can find them on Jive-Thru. Nope. Nothing I recognize, but I don't know. You might have heard of them. So if you're a fan of Bill Wilder, BWILDER Games, check this out. $25 for everything they've ever made. I can't imagine why they'd be getting rid of their 5e product either. If you like 5e being converted to other classes, we have the Modern Horror classes for 5e bundle featuring classes like police officer, private detective, etc. like that. So if you want to do a modern day... My phone's ringing. Hello? Hi. This is Michael. How can I help you?
Hi, Michael. I'm calling for your next Mom's Meals order for delivery on February 23rd. Do you know what you'd like me to order?
No, just the same is fine. There's no need to change it. I'm on the phone.
So I've got 3 barbecue chicken, 3 Salisbury steak, 3 chicken parms, and 5 pasta meatballs.
That is correct.
Coming out February 23rd, Friday through FedEx.
Thank you very much.
How's the weather out there?
At the moment, it's very nice.
It's a crazy season.
Yes.
From Minnesota, and I live in Des Moines, Iowa, and we don't have winter. It's been in the 50s.
Yes.
We even hit a couple of records. Like, hey,
That's extra seat. Cool.
yeah. So, all right, I have that ordered for you, Michael. Is there anything else I can do today?
No, thank you. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Bye. Well, that was fun. Sorry to waste your time, but where were we? I could have stopped it, but then I'd have to do a new one, and that just said it. Girl. Yeah, if you guys were, modern role play. Look, just get Everyday Heroes if you want to do modern D20. And then we've got some more stuff for Modern Horror 5e. This comes from us by an individual who refers to himself as RPG Gamers, all one word. And this is called Creatures of Modern Horror, and it's $8. And if you want even more modern horror, we've also got Villains of Modern Horror from the same individual. This is also $7. And if you want some puzzles, we've got Puzzles for $20 from Drag and Drop. Drag and Drop Games brings us a bundle of puzzles. Puzzles for $20. Because, in case you're not smart enough to find puzzles for free online. And now the charity bundles. Remember, as always, if there's a charity you want to donate to, but you don't want to get the bundle, you can always go directly to that charity's page and use their GoFundMe or whatever, and you don't have to get the bundle. From Solo But Not Alone, from Itch.io, we have 100 plus new solo RPGs ranging everywhere from traditional fantasy all the way into the weird shit like the one about the girl who tries to get body modded to become a horse. Yeah, Itch.io. Just when I think you're like, okay, you release weird crap like this, and then I'm like, yeah, nope. This is $10, and it goes to help mental health, which, you know, if you're a young woman who thinks that they need to be body modded to become a horse, you probably need mental health. We have another one from Itch.io. This is called the Trans Bundle. It's collecting for charities to help trans youth deal with all the legal and financial and emotional and political issues that are approaching them. This goes to support trans youth charities, and it ends March 8th. It's $5. We've got the Early Champions Bundle. This contains pretty much everything from Champions 2 and 3, including Aaron Alston's amazing Strike Force, quite bar none, one of the best things ever written for Champions, I think. You know, Champions is the best superhero role-playing game, right? I mean, I don't like it. It's not my favorite, but I think it is generally considered to be the best, right? So this is the old stuff. This is the classic Champions. This is like Auto Duel Champions, Super Agents, Golden Age of Champions. This entire bundle is $15. And even if you don't get any of the other things, it's worth it just to get Strike Force from Aaron Alston, because that is one of, if not the best Champion things ever written. We then have another bundle from Hero. This is all their other stuff. It includes Justin Inc. It's Justice Inc., but for some reason this individual spelled it Justin Inc., and I find that hilarious. Espionage, Danger International, Fantasy Hero, Star Hero, all the Hero System stuff. So all the other, when they were experimenting with other games after Champions came out and they were trying to become more generic, some of these games work. Justice Inc. is great. Danger International was great. Some of the other ones didn't work. Anyways, this is $10. And we've got a third and final bundle from Hero Games. This contains a bunch of the magazines when they were doing magazines. It includes the Adventurers Club, the Haymaker Archives, a lot of the other articles, magazines, zines that Hero was making for a while to support Auto Duel and Champions. And this is $8. All these goes to support the Diana Jones Award Emerging Designer Program. So I absolutely love the Diana Jones Award Emerging Designer Programs because, you know, they don't actually have an award. Congratulations, Bill, you win. What do I get? Absolutely nothing, but you can tell people you won. Don't I get a trophy or something? No, we lost it in the mail. How about a sticker? Nope. Do I get a thing I can put on my product? Fine, we'll give you a thing that you put on your product that says you won the award. Great. Where's my award? Lost it in the mail. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if you've ever wanted to role play the amazing writing of Jane Austen, Downton Abbey, Brigantine, and more swoon craft, or whatever you want to call that, swoon punk, is that a name? If not, I'm calling it. We have Good Society, the Jane Austen RPG. This goes to support Rainforest and charities that help, do that. It's $18. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to play a Jane Austen-themed role-playing game. Oh, my God, Mrs. Butterworth. You're looking at me very longingly. Oh, Lord Kensington, I cannot help but my cheeks are aflush when you enter the room. I'm afraid I will swoon. Oh, yeah, let us spend the next 17 episodes of the show swooning at each other before we realize our love for each other and hold hands. Oh, Lord Kensington. This is one of those times when I would say just give the money directly to charity unless you really, really want a Jane Austen-themed role-playing game. From TriStat Games, we have the Relics Bundle. This is their modern urban fantasy game. TriStat used to make some really great stuff. This is $15, and it goes to support the Diana Jones. And finally, the biggie, we have the Cyberpunk Bundle from my old friends at Artisolian. $18. It goes to support Extra Life. It contains pretty much everything that was ever created for Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk Red, except Cyber Generation. Mike, where's Cyber Generation? Because I helped write that thing. I wouldn't mind picking up a copy again of Cyber Generation. Mike, what happened to Cyber Generation? Where's Cyber Generation, Mike? Huh? What happened to that one? Anyways, as you know, huge fan of the interlock system, huge fan of Cyberpunk, huge fan of Cyberpunk 2020 and all the new stuff. Love me some Cyberpunk, or at least I used to when I was young and rebellious. Now I'm old and don't fucking care. So there you go. So obviously that's pretty much my only recommendation is the Cyberpunk bundle. Unless you are a superhero role-playing gamer like me, then you might want to get the Champions bundle And even if you ignore the rest, like I said, it's got Strike Force, which I think most Champions players agree is one of the best written, if not the best written Champions adventure setting. And a couple other things that sounded interesting, but nothing really great. I'm surprised we didn't get as many Valentine's Day themed adventures as I always thought, which means they'll probably show up next week, because between the time they get submitted and the time they actually go up line, there's usually a time gap. I apologize for the phone call thing, but I wasn't gonna, stop it, take the phone call, and then restart it, because that's just never works. So you get to hear me talk to the phone. Fun. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. Have a great day. Stay safe. I'll talk to you later.